really since the first Georgia game. We had to kind of win out to get to the SEC championship game. And then we kind of reset ourselves and just said, hey, we're in a 4-game playoff, And it was a great celebration at DKR to have that first home game in the CFP. It was an amazing environment. And with the extended time between games, we took a moment to celebrate that, and then it was back to work as usual. It really wasn't very difficult. We've got a really mature team, an older team that I think understands the task at hand. Well, I think, again, differently than before, if it's just your traditional New Year's Day bowl game and you're at the bowl site for about a week or so, a little bit different challenge. This being a playoff, and we're only here for about 3 days, with the goal to be back here January 20th. You always have, as a coach, you have your concerns, but like I said, we're a really mature team. Knock on wood, we do it the right way. Obviously, we got curfew and all those things in place, but I think our guys understand, like I said, the task at hand. They're focused on that. Yeah, I think, the natural thing to point out was the physical grind that the SEC puts on you, the body types, the speed, the physicality of which the game is played in the SEC. But the thing that we worked a lot on that I thought paid dividends for us was the mental intensity needed week in and week out in this conference. From top to bottom, if you don't show up and play well, you can get beat. And I think we saw that kind of across the board in the conference this year. I think a credit to our players. I thought they showed up every week ready to play. Naturally, we didn't win every game, but for the most part, whether it was at home or on the road, we showed up ready to play, and we didn't have those lapses, that maybe some of the other teams had. I think, again, I really value competitors, and a lot of times, not every one of the guys we recruit is a multi-sport athlete, but we really look for that. We look for guys that compete, whether it's in track, whether it's in basketball, whether it's in baseball, whether it's in wrestling, whatever that can look like. We're looking for true competitors because this league challenges you that way. You just don't get to take a week off because the moment you do, you can get beat. And we've seen it, right? And we've seen it across the board. We got a lot of teams complaining that they didn't get into the college football playoff, but they stubbed their toe at some point along the way as well.
Yeah, they just fly around on defense. That's the main thing. Like I said, they play with a lot of effort. So, not have to come back another year, but, I'm going to do, what's best for me. But the main thing. Yeah, it is, man, because, like I said, he's kind of the perfect guy. I mean, he doesn't – I haven't seen him do anything wrong, and, he's a great kid off the field. So, he's done a lot of things, off the field that a lot of people cherish. And, to answer your question with him, on the football field, it's like he do some things that you can't coach. And, sometimes you just have to, sit back and just let him be. And I think Coach Choice, did a good job of staying on him. I mean, because when Coach Choice came in, he made a big emphasis that, he was going to stay on us. And, I think, he made a big influence on B. John also. And B probably could tell you that. But, to answer your question, I think B's, a great guy. Yeah, it is. I mean, when you've been somewhere multiple times, you kind of get a hang of how it goes. But, I think our staff does a good job of laying down the foundation of how we're going to move. And I think they have us, prepared, days ahead of what we're going to do. I mean, yeah. I mean, after we got the win against Clemson last week, first thing he said was, we back in A. And, we know this is his hometown, so we know he's very excited, to be back in Atlanta. But, the main thing is I think he's, very focused on us winning the game. And, he know what's at stake, and he knows it's, just the next step of us getting to our end goal. So we know that he's going to enjoy it, but he's also going to stay on us and make sure that we're doing everything for us to be able to get the win on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks outside of the injury definitely helped it for sure. But I mean, we're not trying to look at it any different. I didn't even know that until you just said that. So, number one, they don't do a whole lot on first and second down, which means that they're good at what they do, and they're not gonna be out of place and have a whole lot of missed assignments just because that's what they do. And then on third down, they do a little bit more. They bait some pressures and then they'll come, and then they bait some pressures, and then they'll drop out of it. So it's just I guess that's the most challenging thing. It's just seeing when they're going to pressure and when they're not.
Is there any?
Well, I think the goal line stands the past 3 weeks against A&M and then again against Clemson have just been amazing plays and just kind of, I think, show the attitude of our defense. Just a never give up attitude. It's first and goal within the 5-yard line against A&M, and I think it was within the 5, at least within the 10, whatever it was. But just them not giving up has been really cool. I guess going into the big house was a really cool moment. It feels like it was 2 years ago now, but that was definitely a cool moment. And I think just the small moments with my teammates in the locker room and in the weight room and on the practice field have just been. Those are the moments that I feel like I'm gonna remember for a lifetime. Not what happened against, Arkansas with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. And I'm going to remember what happened on the bus or on the plane right after that.
Yeah, I'll say basically the same thing. You gotta get that. I like to say myself, but if we being honest, I ain't gonna lie, Trevor Guzman pretty nice. He got it.
To be a daunting unit.
Yeah, I can't really speak for the past because I wasn't there. I didn't have the same coach, but I just know Coach Flood and Coach Sark they want to they love to win. So that's kind of a sense of like they're gonna coach you hard every day. They're gonna make sure you're on your A game, and as a player, you kind of just gotta soak that in because at the end of the day, it comes down to how you take the training, how you take the coaching, and how you apply it. Because a coach can coach you all day, but you have to go out there and apply it. So I feel like we do a great job of trying to apply what we take from the film room and applying it to the field. So I feel like that kind of helps us out on the field, which handles everything else with like draft stuff or like awards you may want or things, just different things like that. I feel like kind of falls over. So just working hard off the field, paying attention to film and different like that. When Coach Flood is like teaching, giving different aspects of the game, you just have to really hone in and pay attention so you can apply it on the field. Yeah, you definitely envision it, but it's kind of like you said when you first get here, it's kind of hard to see it because like it's such a big goal that you want. You don't want to like look too far ahead, but when the time definitely comes, it's definitely something that you understand. Like you've envisioned. There's been times where I walk by the trophy case room we have, and I've looked at those trophies like I want to win those, and I kind of going back to last year when Sweat won it, kind of put a bigger chip on my shoulder, wanting to win it again. So you definitely envision that, and it's kind of a silver moment when it kind of comes back to you tenfold. So it's definitely something you envision when you're coming in. Yeah, it felt great. In that moment when I won them, when I won those two awards, Lombardi and Outland, it felt great because it's kind of like that recognition of your hard work has paid off. But like you said, the job's not finished. I kind of feel like the individual awards, when you have team success, it brings individual awards. So the more team success we have, the more individual awards we gain. So we keep winning, we keep getting team success, the future will handle itself.
Spring to summer to fall camp, I knew we were destined for greatness. So we ain't done yet. So it's crazy. And then seeing Big Bill get that quarterback start. Because it wasn't easy. This whole from spring to fall camp. It wasn't easy, but he prepared us for this season. He prepared my body for it, and then Coach Bate, man, with the technique and fundamentals, man, that's what I was missing in my game, and that's his emphasis, and like it's really helped me a lot. So I appreciate that. Man, it's like I feel like I owe it to him. You know what I'm saying? He done so much for us, so much for me. And just the work we put in, the work that they put in for us, you know what I'm saying? Like they deserve it.
All right, AC, I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
I think we talked about it like probably like week 9 or something like that. But every week, we just.
I mean, I would say pound for pound, SEC week in, week out, just the environment situations, going on the road, Vanderbilt going on the road, and Arkansas and things like that. That was pretty taxing, and just to have that, but to be poised and to be bought in as a team, and trust Sark's plan. I think ultimately that's what allowed us to go on the road in those games and still pull those wins out. I mean, they're bought in. They're bought into the process just from where they were at a year ago, and that's just a pat on the back to their head coach, changing the program around, and then changing the narrative around for those guys, winning the Big 12 and things like that, and having a chance in playoffs. So I know they're going to go to battle. We're waiting to look forward for that battle. We're gonna fight back and compete, and it's going to be an amazing show for the entire world to see. I mean, the moment he came in, he talked about culture. He hasn't changed. The level of him pushing us changed. That's progressed. But every single day, the moment he came in, it was about culture. How can we build this culture? He's going to bring in the players. He's going to develop us to be better players. But a culture is the thing you have on and off the field, changing us to be better persons, better people, and a better man. So ultimately, him doing that, it can create success down the road. And just culture on the standpoint of when we came in, our team GPA and then our team GPA now. And it's just the small things he always tells us. The small details is just fix the small things. And then the culture, having a brotherhood, not only on the field, but having it off the field and just trusting in one another. He completely poured into us, and he wanted us to completely pour into him. And I think the more you do that, and just for the younger guys that we have and everybody coming on board, I think the more you pour into him, he'll pour into you, and it'll be a two-way street, and it'll just allow everybody to love one another and to do things for one another, not just doing it for the name on your back, but doing it on the name on your chest. And then I think that'll help just throughout our program.
Yeah. The nitty-gritty of developing players from a technical, fundamental standpoint, getting the pieces, moving the chess pieces around.
Yeah.
As a head coach, he does an unbelievable job, but being able to do both, I've always been one where whatever my role is, that's what I control, and I just try and do the best job I can. And that's the way I was as a position coach, and then I got the opportunity to be a coordinator. I was like, do I really want to do this? And yeah, let's go. And